Hi, it's Andy, and this is the intro of Separate Ways by Journey. Okay, here we go. So the first riff in the tune is just simply a rhythm on the low E. Okay, so no fingering on the fretboard required. You just play open E. That's the easy part. Okay, the hard part is the rhythm, and I'm going to teach you the counting. Here we go. So it's 2 measures long, and the rhythm sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. Okay, and then beat 3 and 4, I better explain. There's some harmonics there. Okay, this is where you actually do get to use your fingers on the fretboard. You're going to play a 5th fret harmonic. So in harmonics, you obviously just touch the string very gently with your finger, directly right on top of the 5th fret, not beside the 5th fret, but right on top of the 5th fret. Don't press down, just touch the string as light as a feather, and it sounds like this. Okay, and the rhythm there is 3E and 4, like this. Alright, now let's learn the whole thing with the counting. Ready, go! 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4. Okay, let's talk about this. I did take my fingers and lay them across 5 of the strings like this. Then that way, when I strike my low E, I got no other strings ringing. I got total silence. If I just take my pick, play the note, then I take my pick and I put it right back on the string, every single string's deadened out. I got dead silence. Okay, now if I don't put my fingers on the strings like this when I play, then I get this sound. Even if I strike the string with the pick and then immediately put my pick right back on, all the other strings are ringing. And even though I didn't play them, they're sounding out. Okay, we don't want that sound. That's not on the CD. That will make it sound very sloppy. Hear all that extra sound? It's all those other strings ringing. As soon as you put your hand across the strings, it'll stop that sound. Okay, so another thing to explain is this. I am putting my pick right on the string. So I'm going to play, land, play, land, play, play, land, play, land, play, play, land. I'm always landing on the string, and that cuts off the sound because this is a staccato riff. You want to play very choppy. You don't just want to ring it out like this. That's not how it goes. It won't sound right. You have to chop off every time. Okay, now let's work on it some more now that you have all these tips. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go! 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3E and 4. There you go. There's the intro. It keeps playing all the way through the verse. Now, when the verse comes in, there's this keyboard part. Now, if you don't have a keyboard, you'll have to play this on guitar. So here we go. It's an E minor triad, and it's in the, I'd call it the 7th position, but it's really starting on fret 8. You start with your middle finger on fret 8. That's on the 2nd string, like this. Then your 3rd finger goes in there on the 4th string on fret 9. Then your pinky goes in there on the 3rd string, also on fret 9. So you have two fingers on the same fret right there. Now you'll notice I'm not using my first finger. I'm saving it for the next chord, because the next chord will do a first finger bar. So I'm saving my first finger for a future note that's coming up. Alright, so now that you have your E minor triad set up here, you got to make sure that with your pick you only hit the 3 strings that your fingers are on. Make sure you don't hit any other strings. Okay, now land your pick on the strings. Helps to land your pick right on the 4th string because that's where your strum begins. So make sure you practice that. Put your pick and your hand right on the strings. That'll allow you a moment to move your fingers around so you can get to the next chord. It's just simply a flat bar chord with finger 1 like this. You place your finger on the 7th fret and you cover 4 strings. Now with your pick you are going to hit string 4 and string 3 and string 2, and that's it. We're not going to play string 1 even though your bar chord might be covering it a little bit. That's okay. We're just not going to play string 1. There it is. Okay, now put your pick back on the strings again. Land your pick right on the 4th string. That silences the strings. Gives you a chance to, without making any extra sound, get to the next chord. It's a 5th fret bar chord, played in the same way that we just played the last chord. So just take your finger, lay it flat across the 5th fret, cover 4 strings. There you go. That's it. Then land your pick, of course, and then you start over. So you play it again. Okay. So now there's a certain moment that I'm going to land my pick on the strings and cut off the notes. And that comes in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm purposely landing my pick on the and of 4. So I'm chopping the notes at a very specific moment, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and. It's always on the and. That's in preparation for the next beat. Okay, now that was the entire intro from the song. And it is possible to play all of those parts at the same time. And if you do, it sounds like this. Okay, let's learn that. So I'm starting with my chord. Okay, and while that's ringing out, I'm going to strike the low string 3 times like this. Okay, then I'm going to, of course, chop off all the strings and move to the next chord. Next chord is a bar chord on the 7th fret. And on this chord, you can mimic the rhythm from those harmonics, although you won't be able to reach the harmonics, but you could mimic the rhythm though, which is this. So use that rhythm that you learned when you learned your harmonics. Okay, then it's a 5th fret bar chord, sounds like this. Now you really can play those harmonics right here. So you just let go of the chord, give up all the chords, and play the harmonics. Alright, now all together that sounds like this. There it is. Okay. You'll notice one other thing that I did, and this is a small detail, but this will help clean up your sound. when I played that first chord, I know that my first finger isn't really playing any notes, but it still can be useful. It can stop extra sounds. So if I take my first finger and I gently touch the 5th string, that will prevent the 5th string from making any sound, because you don't ever play the 5th string at all in the whole intro of the song. So there's a danger your 5th string could possibly be ringing. Remember at the beginning of the lesson when I discussed that when you strike the low string and you stop it, the other strings might ring? Okay, so we're going to eliminate that extra vibration by taking our first finger and gently covering the strings. We're going to try to cover the 5th string without pressing though, just very gently. Okay, so I guarantee that 5th string can't ring out. It's dead. And that's what we want. Okay, and then on the next chord, okay, what I'm doing there is I'm still using my first finger to bar the chord, but also my first finger is just ever so slightly bumping into that 5th string again. So my 5th string is completely dead. Even if I hit the 5th string, it won't ring out. And then the same story on this chord. You can't play the 5th string, it won't ring out. There, so we successfully eliminated extra vibrations on the 5th string. That's going to really clean up your playing on this song. Okay, I hope you found that video helpful, and I'll see you next time.